still stand by the statement that like honesty is the best policy. For example, when a classmate jokingly, "Hey, are we friends?" and I just like,
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Refresh Step where you recover yourself for the main step. I'm your host for today, tomorrow, and the foreseeable future, Theodore. And I'm with Autos Battler in the UK and the Battle Spirits English Week and admin of the Battle Spirits English Wiki, Ayumu Seiki. So yeah, I guess you were speechless now. I forgot my
"Sure, hi."
yeah, I forgot your introduction like 3 times. Like, oh, like once is okay, it happens, and the second time, I guess, was our friendship special. My goodness. And we are recording today, Ayumu. You know what day today is? It's the release date for Battle Spirit
Release of
Saga
Sepho.
04, yes. Saviors of Chaos. My goodness. I was a little bit surprised because like my store just let me know that my pre-order got in, like because the like yesterday, because I was in the city where the store is located. I was like, maybe I should pick it up. And then I forgot that the release date is today. So yesterday, of course, they don't have it. And then the last email that I have from them says something like, yeah, we are sorry that the delivery for your delivery for your order will not be possible in the amount that you requested. So yeah, I thought, okay, so maybe it was too small, so they cannot bother to order for me. But yeah, in the end, I still got my order. So yeah, that's that. All that as well ends well. Although those are mostly for my friends, they are for guests. So I don't know if it's I don't let's hope that they will open like the good stuff. Yeah. But how is it on your side?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Uh, not the best case, that's for sure.
No.
I I opened the case and then like the pools are just like really bad. It's like, especially since they have so many X-ray this set.
Mm-mm.
After you buy a case, you literally only barely get one play set for every X-ray.
Oof, that's pretty tough. Considering one case of PSS is around 1,000 something, right? How much box was in
It's
extras?
about it's £1,000.
Oh my goodness. £1,000 is like a lot of
Yeah,
euros. My goodness.
a lot of euros. Yes, it's a lot of euros.
Yeah, it is a little bit sad because in North Rhine-Westphalia where I am currently living, the store is dwindling. I think like there's only like one store left in Banetisi Plus. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Not that I can help them at the moment, but yeah, I'll need to I'll need to fire up those CV typing machines and yeah, get a job hopefully by April. I want money.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I won't
Good luck, I
sugarcoat it.
guess.
I will not sugarcoat anything. I want money. My goodness. But yeah,
Give me money.
give money. Yeah, and
Give
like it.
money.
Yeah, I mean like it's always like it's always the paradox, right? Do you work for the money or do you work because you love the work that you do? But I'm working for the
Mm,
money so I can do the things that I love. So isn't that by extension, by a really wide stretch, basically just the same thing? I mean, like money in the end, it's money in the end. The money itself is not worth anything, right? It is like basically a contract that we can trade this for either service or goods in the end, right? It's just a really fancy I owe you letter that everybody just accepts. A very convoluted I owe
Yeah.
you letter. Yeah, I think that's also why like especially like the expatriate like the Chinese expats, usually the stereotype is that we are really we are really how to say, we are really strict if it's about money. But I mean, like, yeah, because like by extension, like again, like,
Okay.
yeah, the money itself is like a more of a social contract that represents, okay, if I have this, then I can if you give me this money, that means it is you are paying for my for a service or a trust. Then yeah, so basically, not paying money, bad. Yes. Employers pay your employees. Not paying money, but taking away money, but what a groundbreaking concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I don't really understand that much. Like, I
Mm-mm.
legit kind of learned a bit more on
Mm-mm.
how cash functions, I guess,
Mm-mm.
by watching,
Mm-mm.
out of all things,
Mm-mm.
The Eminence in Shadow.
Oh.
Have
Go
you
on.
watched? Have you watched that one?
Unfortunately, not yet.
No, it's because during one arc,
Mm-mm.
it was something like, I mean, even now I can't remember most of it. I
Mm-mm.
mean, I only barely grasped the concept. I'm not good. I never learned economy,
Mm-mm.
but like basically because the world is set in a time
Mm-mm.
where bank has only started working,
Mm-mm.
and then so like the concept of printing paper as
Mm-mm.
cash is very new. So everything
Mm.
was very rough,
Mm-mm.
and then like the protagonist just goes like, so we print fake money
Mm-mm.
and then just mess up the whole world and something like that.
Yay.
And then so basically he basically wanted to cause an inflation
Mm-mm.
so that the paper means nothing at the end
Mm-mm.
and forces the customers to ask the bank to take back their money.
Mm-mm.
But because there would be too many people asking for money at the same time,
Mm-mm.
the bank wouldn't have enough money to give them out.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly how banks in the real world collapses. My goodness.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but like I didn't really specifically
Mm-mm.
learn to think about this
Mm-mm.
until I
Oh.
watched that anime. It was really funny.
Uh yeah, I mean like my situation on why I understand that is also unique because like growing up there has been this ongoing case of a bank in Indonesia where that happens, so it just collapses because like the trust falls and then like everybody just wants their money back, and then yeah, it just collapses, and then like the government, I think like the government was trying to pack it up, so it was like there was all sorts of controversy of like why are we even giving these guys a chance, like they already fuck up once. So yeah, but then again, yeah, it's also like the matter that the money that the people want to withdraw, they're going to use it to run the economy, so it's like, yeah, I guess in the end it comes back to the government.
Yeah,
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's
because
always yeah.
I think when a bank fails, I think the
Mm-mm.
government would lend out money first, right?
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's how they
yeah.
do it. Yeah, no way that's free.
Mm, I
They're
mean,
they're
fair
they're
enough.
they're way too rich. I mean, like I
No,
just
I know it's not free, but like,
mm-mm.
I mean, the government would temporarily cover up
Mm-mm.
the bank for
Mm-mm.
the insufficient money, and
Mm-mm.
then they will have to pay back in whatever ways later on,
Mm-mm.
basically.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I just also yesterday I just listened on a podcast. where I get my knowledges about the world and human society. No, just kidding. I just I just listened to Abroad in Japan, and then like he was like Chris was talking about how like one of the biggest conglomerate in Japan, so SoftBank, like during the .com era, when the bubble crash, like basically they lost lots of money, but like they were able to recoup that, and then the startup bubble happened, and then they lost everything again. Yes, of course. It's it is what it is.
Oof.
It's all a cycle, isn't it? But yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, since we are like, I mean, like, even though sometimes we do talk a good amount of stuff about like trading card games and battle spirits, which we are most we know the most about. But like, do you think like there are merits to like listening to podcasts as a source of knowledge, or is it entertainment?
At the I think it mostly falls into entertainment. Like it depends on what you classify by knowledge, because you can say that like, you know, because like podcast is mainly people sharing their life experiences, so you can call that knowledge. Especially if you actually like admire that person, you think what they say are right and things like that. In general, I think it just like it's like a lot of the time it sounds more like it just like listening to podcasts is like listening to your friends just blabbering for hours.
Yeah, that's a really
So
good analogy.
yeah,
Yeah, the only thing that we need to do now is getting drunk to make it to complete the friend experience. Oh my goodness. Imagine
an
since
experience.
we cannot offer like the boyfriend experience, we can offer like the friend experience. Yeah, of course, it's like you're here hanging out with us. So yeah, grab a beer.
The
We'll
friend
also drink.
experience.
My goodness, the days of COVID has gone away. We started this way too late. We should have started a little bit earlier. My goodness, just kidding. We are glad that you guys are listening.
Well, at that time we
We barely even knew each other. So yeah, I think it's a
at
good
that
thing is we
time, yeah.
actually took our time to kind of like know each other before we started this, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you cannot rush with any kind of relationship, like friends, lovers, things like that. You can't rush them.
Yeah, especially back
If
then.
you want to rush it, you call each other acquaintances,
Exactly.
not friends.
Exactly. Especially since back then, I don't know, like it's it is bad if if I said I was brainwashed, but basically I was convinced that the weak is like antagonistic to what we are trying to do. So yeah, try to not get too close to those guys. And then like, but what if I do anyway? And then I met Ayumu, and then yeah, this happened. And I think like, even at that time, it was kind of a desperation as well. But yeah, still.
What?
Now that you learn why I
Where?
befriended you, it's out of desperation. I'm just kidding. Now, because I think at that time, I think we interacted mostly from the online tournaments, right? And then I just and then I think that's where you kind of like built up the trust between us that okay, so this guy know the rulings. And then I think it's the first project that we worked together is actually the World Clash, and where you became the judge.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember actually.
Yeah,
Is it that long ago already?
yeah, it
Oh
has
god,
been.
no. The first time we talked was 2020. It was barely 3 years.
Yeah.
1,
My
2, 3.
goodness.
No, it's been 3 years. It's barely 4 years.
I even spent more time finishing my master thesis. My goodness. That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know we started talking because of Lamy actually.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
first of all, it was because of the tournament, but yeah. But then like, I knew you like Lamy, and then I just did the usual thing. Oh, I saw a picture on Twitter, tag,
Tag.
and I just spam tag your name.
How did you know I like Lamy? It's not like my desk is full of Lamy merch, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you were tempting me with a Lamy Dakimu
Dakimakura. Yeah.
Dakima yeah Dakimakura.
Dakimakura. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and then a Daifuku plushie as well.
yeah. I have the Daifuku plushie. Not the Dakimakura
Yeah, I
though.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad that the Dakimakura was always on sale when I when I am broke. So it's like, although yeah, it's always the question of okay, so if I am 18 and I just got into university, then no problem. The probably my friends will see it and they will think I'm weird for 20 seconds and they will forget. But now I'm 30. When I reached Germany, I was 27, and I have a nephew, and eventually a niece. So yeah, what I want them to see that. But yeah, they have seen my yeah. Actually, there's a funny story though about now that you mentioned Lamy. There's a short, very short funny story because like last time when I went to my sister's place, she asked me to play with my niece. So we were just playing, like with the Legos and everything. And then she likes to, because she's an iPad baby, right? So she is really interested in stuff that has screens. So when she noticed that I was wearing a smartwatch, she is trying to tap on it, trying to unlock it. But of course, so it is activated in two ways. So you have to either push the button or you have to lift your hand like in the correct position, and it will turn up. So I pressed the button, and then the lock screen came up, which is allow me green screen. Allow me green screen image where she when she first debuted, where she just shared like the green screen images, and then it was when she was being disappointed, so her eyes was empty, and then my niece just screamed. She just and then she just ran to her mother's like, wait, why? And then I showed showed her my phone because my phone wallpaper is also Lamy. So definitely I'm not a Lamy fan there, but yeah. And then she saw that and she was even more frightened. So then of course I asked her why, right? Like this 3 years old, like why doesn't she like my wife? I am really scared. You are no longer my niece. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah. But basically she said in English. Yeah. She looks scary. Her eyes look scary.
Oh yeah,
What?
okay, I can see why. Yeah. Lamy's eyes are actually very sharp in terms of art style. Yeah.
That is the most beautiful eyes. And I am biased. I am biased. So yeah. But yeah, it's like
I mean, I mean, I mean, it's a very pretty art style. Like especially with the coloring.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, it's rare to see that detailed for characters, especially VTubers. Like especially because like they have to move around and everything. You
Yeah.
can't. Most of the time, you cannot be too detailed. But like, it's actually incredible how they managed to do that with Lamy.
I know, right? The matlet who did her live 2D 3 times. So I think she has like a version 1, version 2, and version 3, right? So he did that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has 3 versions by now. So I'm a fake fan, but yeah, I mean, like I really like her design and I followed her, and then like now, but yeah, I kind of find like her streams is kind of like the streams where it is valuable for the company. So it's like if I listen to it live, then it's like the friend experience, right? Like, oh yeah, it's like I'm hanging out with someone. But like if I listen to the archive, it's like it feels different. I mean, like you like to, I mean, like the kind of like quote unquote substitute to meeting your friend IRL is kind of like having like a video call with them, like making a podcast with them. Now I can listen to them. I can listen to Ayumu live, so I know that Ayumu is still alive. But like if I then like I miss Ayumu so much and then I just listen to our old podcast, it's just not the same, right?
I guess I rarely watch any stream. The last time I watched the stream was actually Doki Bird's return stream.
Yeah.
But like even after that, like I was telling myself maybe I can start watching Doki Bird like as maybe like my actual Oshi, and then I just can't be bothered.
Yeah. I think it's mostly because of how we enjoy. Like I think stream in general, you kind of have to. It is quite a high maintenance hobby to have because like you kind of have okay. So if you, it is it you. I mean like you can mostly just listen, especially if it's just a talking stream. Then you can mostly just listen. You don't have to watch anything, so you can kind of like you think that you can kind of put that down and then you can work with your 2 monitors. Like I have 2 monitors and I still think sometimes it's not enough. So if I take even 1 monitor to just put on the stream, it feels like a really big investment because like now, okay, great. So now half of my workspace is not usable, quote unquote, because like if I put anything, then I cannot see them. So okay, so I can minimize them since they're just talking. There's nothing happening on the screen. That's what I thought. And then like, it feels kind of lonely that you hear someone but you cannot see their face. So in the end, I think like how I was able to do it sometimes is like because Firefox has this thing called like picture in picture. So like instead of hogging like the whole screen, they can just make like a really small screen that I can just put somewhere where and then it will always show on top. So I can just put that somewhere where it doesn't really disturb my work, and then I can now work while I'm listening to Lami or Shiori or Fauna. Now or Anya. So now everybody knows who my Oshis are, but they're still. Or the other way is mostly if it's with Fauna or Shiori, since their voice is one of the more stable, like their voices are like very stable, so it's like there's not much fluctuation. So it is really good to just put their stream when I was about to sleep. So I just put their stream on, turn off autoplay, and then put them beside my bed. Sometimes it helps. But yeah, then again, it sometimes, but that is mostly just the comfort of having someone nearby, right? So it's like, yeah, sometimes like you sleep better when you are silent, but like sometimes you are on, like you are staying with your friends for like 1 weekend, and okay, so I've been so used to them like talking when I was trying to go to sleep, so now that they fell asleep before me, I feel weird, kind of thing. Although, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't watch streams that much just because most require listening or concentration. Like especially when I'm writing in English, I can't listen to someone else speaking in English. Well, yeah, I'm saying that because if I'm gonna listen to streams, it's gonna be in English, not in Japanese. So like that's one. Or like in general, I cannot listen to someone talking when I'm writing. Music is already the bare minimum that I can listen to. But even with music, I can't listen to English. It has to be another language while I'm writing English. And or I'm gonna be editing videos. I can't listen to anything if I'm editing videos.
Exactly.
Or when during my free time, I'm going to be reading, which means I can't listen to English again.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to be playing cards, which means I can't listen to anything again. Like, all my activities like require me to concentrate in terms of hearing. So I literally cannot make streaming listening to stream as my hobby.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a side skill that you need to kind of develop, right? It's like I just realized yesterday when I went to a career fair that okay, so in order to have a job in 2024, first you have to be well versed in whatever job you are trying to apply for. So that is a given, right? We know that that is the main requirement. Secondly, you have to be able to sell yourself. So you need to make your resume and cover letter stand out in the eyes of the recruiters, of course. Then you will have to go through the interview where you further try to convince them that okay, I'm the right man for the job, or the right person for the job. Okay, then there's another step. So before you get to this interviews and application and everything, there are lots of things so that you kind of need to develop in the site. So one is research. So you have to, that there are already lots of sites that kind of like aggregate the jobs for you. Like there's in Europe, there's Stepstone, there's Indeed, there's LinkedIn, there's Zing, and then there's the career fair. But I think I read an article about like what to do in a career fair, and then like yeah, basically there are like 7 or 8 steps, but it is like a soft skill kind of thing, right? Like there are 7 steps, but there are 7 steps that you cannot kind of just learn. You kind of have to practice it over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah, so you kind of have to develop a separate skill just to make the most out of your career fair, and it's like, huh. Is this I know this is going to be worth it in the long run, but it's like it's kind of tiring that I kind of have to learn this on top of what I am already trying to learn. So it's like learning overload. Yeah, don't think you will have to. You don't have to deal with this in the near future. But yeah, like
Cry.
I mean, like I think because like the more of the career that you are trying to pursue are more into like the freelance career, right? Or is there any, or I mean, like we haven't talked about work since like forever, right? So like, is there any changes? Like, do you now have like a contract, like a more of a contracted career that you wanted to pursue in
No.
tandem? Okay, okay, that is good to know. That's like I'm always because I already started my software engineering career anyway, right? So that is kind of like why I'm still pursuing it, although in tandem, or if I can eventually have enough savings to kind of like try to build up another freelance career. It's probably also something to do with like creative stuff, right? Think like
Yeah.
I think like in the end I also like why like software engineering kind of like still resonates with me. It's mostly because my quote unquote passion is more into like making stuff. Like I think in the end like writing, making a video, software, like making a software, that's like just a means to get what get me the most high. Like okay, which is to make things. Yeah, that's probably why research is a little. Sometimes research can be a little bit taxing because, like, yeah, sometimes you're not doing this to create something. Sometimes you just repeat things so that you can have the tools to finally create something. But Sometimes,
Yeah.
but sometimes your term will not be enough. I mean, I've been assistant for 3 years. I think the most extent of research that I did was like, I think it's both of my thesis, and then one, like I made like one presentation in the focus group, and then I think that's it. So that it's like 3 research out of 3 years. Meanwhile, you see, like when I
Wow.
wow, exactly. That's probably also why like sometimes the video that I feel better about making is the video that I just had the idea this morning, and then I kind of wanted to do it, and I can do it at that day. So because it's like, yeah, sometimes because I've been, like the video taking, like doing all this video stuff takes a long time. So your mind will always, yeah, I think we don't have time today. Let's do that tomorrow. But it's like sometimes you just got blinded by your it's there's that higher rate. So it's like, oh, this sounds like a good idea, and then you just got blinded by that, and then it just and then like the sentence gets happened, and then the netherworld skit happen. And then sometimes and then in the end sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. Yeah, but yeah,
I wouldn't say I got blinded. It's just more of like it's just more of like I can't concentrate on it. So like if it takes too much time, I start to get bored of it.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's really it. But like I I never really thought any of my videos are really like a bad idea. It's really just because it's really just like while I'm editing, it's like I got bored and I don't want to do it, and it just drag on for a week.
Yeah, I can understand it. I mean, like I was planning to make a vlog out of our LA journey, right? Still in the pipeline now. it will come out maybe sometimes in the future.
Right.
Yep.
What?
Huh?
Which one?
The vlogs, the one where
Oh my god, you reminds me
basically,
of the etiquette video.
yeah. Oh fuck yes. I still need to give that to you. I still haven't even found the raw footage now.
God.
I need to find them and
Uh,
give them to you.
don't bother then. I don't really want to edit that as well.
Uh-uh.
I don't really want to edit that, so I don't bother about it then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't sound like a bad idea, but it's kind of like, how to say? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I was so averse to the idea of editing it. Kind of wanted, yeah. Like, let's do like a reflection on
It sounds
why.
annoying, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I know why. Because like
Bruh.
it is actually my own mistake, because I was like trying to rely on me doing the voiceover afterwards. So it was like, fuck, I still have. So I thought like some of the videos that I kind of like, okay, I can get through this fast, is mostly because I already do all the hard work of trying to quote unquote edit things, like the preparation of doing, like having like the voiceover that we can use during the recording. So after the recording, I don't have to make sure again that, okay, so I have all the recording that we needed. Can just cut it, and then now we have the recording that we needed. But now with that video, while that is probably a new challenge, you probably need to see that more of as a new challenge, but it's more like, okay, fine. So I need to cut down the video, making sure that the pacing is good. That is one. And then now that we have all the video good, then now I have to do the voiceover for each etiquette that we are trying to present. And then I think we lost either the intro or the outro, and then now I have to do that as well. So it's like, goddamn, it's like, it is. I don't particularly hate the idea of editing that video because of the idea itself, because I am imagining this this amount of workload that still needs to be done, that makes me feel like it worth the effort that we already did for the video, because like we have spent like almost a day to get all the footages, right? So
Yeah.
even then it's like fuck. It's like we have spent a day to get all these footages, but it feels like this is just 10% of the work. So I still need to do like 90% of the work. So it feels a little bit too big. So yeah, I think that is something that I can reflect on. I might need to, for like this kind of bigger projects, maybe we'll need to be able to break it down like to smaller chunks. So yeah, maybe it will still take like 8 weeks, but at least okay, I can probably finish the cut this week. I can finish the voiceover next week. I can finish the merging like next week. I can send it to Ayumu for checking next week, and then we can do like a finishing, and then we can upload that finally. But yeah, at least when you like break it down into like smaller chunks, I think it's much more manageable. It feels much more manageable, but project management is also an art, right? Like, okay, so it feels like you can break it down this way, but yeah, it's like if you break it down too small, then it becomes counterproductive, because like what you could have just finished this week. Okay, I'll just finish that next week. I finished early this week anyway, and then you lost the drive, and then now it's gone, and it's gone. Yeah, I guess that's why I have a master thesis in project management. Doesn't do it?
I just love how we literally have a Chinese meme, just like a white monkey doing a clap, and it's like it's gone.
And it's gone. Yeah, I really love that meme though, the South Park one. So there is the Chinese version.
Yeah,
of it.
I need to translate to English and then start using it. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Like I think it's a plushie, but it's like a monkey plushie. But it's like it's a little bit of a weird looking. Let me try to find it.
Oh yeah, would really love to see that
Meal.
though. Yeah. That's like I've always when I refer to that, and it's gone, it's always the South Park meme, right? And somehow like when I try to see the scene, it's like yeah, it's like cartoon, always the cartoon thing, right? Like the derivative, because like they just cut out the punchline, it becomes oh yeah, that one. Oh my goodness. And it's done.
I just love that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so funny.
I know, right? Yeah, the expression of that monkey being very, very disappointed is like, mom, that I have failed you. But yeah, now that I'm talking about effort, if you are listening this far and you have been noticing that if you listen on YouTube, that we have made like a sort of snippet of what we are talking about in the episode. Hopefully it is enough to entertain you for the first 10 seconds. But yeah, if you enjoyed that, please let us know. Otherwise, I'll just cut them, remove them, and burn them, because it is also the impediment on why now the podcast like takes like 25 years to come out now. But then
I'm more surprised we actually managed to maintain a podcast every week. Because like I think we first agree on once a month.
yeah,
And then it was like no. Once 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like sure. And I somehow changed to once a week. I don't know
Yeah.
how we did that, but sure.
no, right? And then abroad in Japan is doing it like twice a week, so it's like oh, but I
Jesus
don't know.
Christ.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean they probably also have like professional editors and things like that. So it's much quicker for them as well.
Yeah, it also helps that one of the hosts is like a full-time, like his full-time job is just making podcasts, so it's like Yeah, he is like working in like 5 different podcasts, but it's like, yep. So he just records for 30 minutes at a time, and then yep, the rest of his day is basically free.
I don't know why. It sounds so weird when you think about it. Your job is to talk.
Yes.
It's such a normal thing, but when you think about it, it's like your job is to talk. It's like
Exactly.
oh.
Oh. But that is why radio hosts existed, and why what sets us apart from like professional radio people. Because I think there's this thing called like, the radio voice. It's like if it's like the kind of voice that's just really suits the atmosphere of a radio, that makes you feel calm, that makes you feel like you are enjoying your time in your car, although you are dreading that you are going to at that Amazon warehouse, and you are going on your 8 hour shift where you can barely go to the toilet. Enjoy your life. But yeah. Time to get off my ivory throne of my throne in the ivory tower, and yeah. Also, I think what the and speaking of podcasts, I brought up about like whether podcast gives you knowledge or not is because like whenever you listen to a podcast, there's always advertisements, right? Especially when you're listening to bigger podcasts, because that's kind of how you are supporting how they can support themselves. It's by advertisement.
This video is sponsored by Radar Legend.
Yay. But basically like there are always advertisements of other podcasts, right? There are some that I really hate, that I just hate with passion. I actually like block their like they also like promoted their YouTube channel, and I went out of my way out of spite, just block their channel, because I really hated how they brought themselves up in their commercial. And then yeah, I was feeling that petty. Although I'm a YouTuber myself, I probably shouldn't have done that. That's probably karma, but probably someone else have already blocked us anyway, so I guess that's fair.
I mean, hopefully not. Yeah, I don't think you're big enough to get blocked by someone.
I guess, but we can be annoying enough. But still,
suppose on the other hand, getting blocked is an achievement, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, like, it's also like the duality of a dislike, right? Yes, there's like a bad engagement, but one, it is an engagement. Two, it is sometimes can be seen as an indicator that your video has grown to an audience that is like outside of the audience that will actually appreciate this. Because like
fair enough.
Because
yeah,
like audience that is still within your sphere of interest, but they don't like it, they will probably not bother to kind of like give it a dislike. Yeah, if I don't like this, I'll just turn this off. It's fine. But like usually people would go out of their way to dislike something, probably because this is just I literally don't understand this, like what the fuck is happening. But that's probably so that's why dislike sometimes can be seen kind of like as an achievement, unless your video has like 90% dislike. Then I think that's back to the drawing board. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with how we make our videos, but thankfully that has not happened yet. But anyway, I mean, like, the topic on why I brought up the topic of like whether podcast can be about knowledge or not. Some of them were actually not really a podcast where two people just bounce off each other and then like talk about their lives, but like some of them is like more into like a kind of like video essay, which I think made sense.
Yeah, true.
Which I think made sense, because like video essays, you don't, sometimes visuals can help, but most of the time you just kind of wanted to listen on the background. It's like, I mean, like, it's at least 30 minutes, so like, do you really wanted to sit down and see a person talking with no visuals for like 30 minutes? Kinda probably no. Abroad in Japan is a different league, so I'll still listen to Chris, but still, yeah, I'm biased. I'm an Abroad in Japan fan, but yeah, still. So there was the thing that kind of like got me to kind of like step out of my comfort zone of just listening to podcasts of people bouncing out of each other is this advertisement about the podcast that talks about the Cicada 3301. Have you heard about that?
Sorry, what? About what?
Cicada 3301.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so it is basically kind of like an internet challenge. So it was kind of like a cryptography thing. So like basically this like this user called 3301 like surfaced on the internet, and then they basically just drop a series of puzzle that kind of requires you to be proficient in like basically using the computer and breaking like the codes and everything, like codes as in like cryptology and so on and so on, and basically solving puzzles. But anyway, so yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. And then I tried to find their podcast. I didn't. I downloaded an episode that is actually made by another people, because like this Cicada 3301 was so big that if you just search Cicada 3301, you can probably find like 5 or 10 podcasts doing like a video essay on it. But that is kind of, yeah, the actual weird thing that I was like realizing is that there is, like, I was so used to like listening to like Trash Days and Abroad in Japan, where they basically did not they barely censor themselves unless the swear word is particularly not well received in the US. Like, I mean, like, fuck and shit is still kind of like theme. It's still something that is like generally still socially accepted in the US, right? But there are some more levels, like the C word, that is like not accepted that is not well received in the US, that then they will probably censor that. Mostly in the interest of YouTube, because that's where they basically do their appropriateness test based on, where their appropriateness test based on. But yeah, anyway, the point is, that was so jarring that now every single shit was being censored, and then they use like the old TV beep, so it's like, oh my god. I mean, like when you have no visual, that's really distracting, that suddenly you just that poop out of nowhere. So yeah, I should have chosen another set of letters to express that noise, but yeah, how do you kind of like mimic that noise actually? But yeah, so that is the first one. And then I thought like these people would just write an essay, right? And then like they like in between the actual contents of the essay, they just talk about like what like related stuff. Like, okay, so yeah, I think so if like, for example, in the essay they were like talking about their friends, and then like of a certain ethnicity, and then just mentioned, oh yeah, I have a friend of that ethnicity that is also that is pretty cool, and then just offhandedly, and then go back into the essay. So it's like, oh, I mean, like, I didn't sign up for this, but it is not too distracting, so I will let it pass for now. But yeah, it feels a little bit weird, especially since I have listened to 2 of this kind of podcasts. So the first one is about Cicada 3301, which is a puzzle. So that's kind of fine, right? You can be distracted a little bit. That's fine. You're reading like 27 pages of an 27 pages essay. I will let you take a mental break once in a while, and then talk about your friend Frank and how he got drunk and got hit by a children's buggy or something. I will let that pass, but like, it feels a little bit jarring, because like the second podcast that I listened to was about a murder case.
Bruh.
So yeah, so it's like, so okay, so the premise of this murder case sounds interesting. So it's about a cult that is based on religion. So okay, so yeah, I mean, like, that sounds interesting. That I might be able to use that in my novel, and then like he was like talking about this guy murdering someone, and then suddenly, oh yeah, and why does this happen in Spain? But like none of these people sounds like they are from Spain. It's like, why are you questioning that now? Do you really need to? Don't know, man.
I mean, there's always the joke of how aliens only see Japan as the world in anime, and only see the US as the world in Hollywood movies. People just question a lot of things for the good or for the bad.
No.
But like talking about like kind of emotions going up and down. So recently I've been watching quite a few anime which actually focus on being episodic more than being a whole story. And then like both of them have, but some of the stories have kind of like kind of deep impression on me, because and like not because of how unique they are, because to be fair, like kind of like the way they like kind of the story, how to say it, the background context is still very generic, as in like you would see this kind of thing everywhere. But like it's kind of it's about the feeling they portray, and then how they manage to perfectly put a short story all in one episode and then make you feel something. It's like something I find quite amazingly done. There will be spoilers. So the first one is a witch journey, or Elena's journey. Yeah, and I really like how, because like the whole concept, and like this is one thing that it seems to be like the comment section just didn't seem to grasp, is that the whole concept of like the series, not just the anime. Well, I mean, I haven't read the novel, but like assuming from the anime, is that Elena, as a traveler, is simply an observer on what's happening in the world. And someone actually gave a really good comparison, which was like how like years ago there was this a photographer won a competition on a photo he took, and the photo was literally a child dying from starvation with eagles behind him waiting for him to die. And that created some kind of controversy, I suppose. Because like some people, like obviously there will be people judging, say that like, why are you there just watching? Why aren't you saving the child? But like on the other hand, it's like some people also said that like that's not his job and not his responsibility. Like it sounds very harsh to say that, but I suppose like it also depends on what situation. Like for example, I think like obviously we don't know what was the situation like that the photographer was in, but you gotta admit, like I'm like, at least for me, I like the photo. Like I like the way he took it, and I think it's too hard for me to be in this position to judge whether he should have done anything or not. But like the reason why he won the competition with that photo is because like I think that was one of the best way to show how the natural law works. It's like obviously we all know this world isn't all about sunshine, but most of the time we refuse to see that. And like the photographer exactly took this moment to remind everyone that like these things do exist, and we cannot do anything about it.
Mm-mm.
And I think it's the same concept for like the series for Elena's journey, because like it's a story that's literally swinging up and down. They're like every time after an episode, I read the comments and there was like, oh my god, the next episode is gonna be so fuck up, right? Because like this episode's so happy go lucky. So, it really felt that way. Like there was this one where she visited a flower garden, and at first like it looks very normal, but then it turned out she realized that like the flower garden would actually attract people to the garden and then eat them up.
Ooh.
And then like she witnessed everything happened. Well, most of the things that happened, and then she did nothing about it. And then and then obviously a lot of people in the comments says, oh my god, she could have helped the villagers. It's like, I don't like this cat. It's like, oh my god, there were a lot of people
But she
arguing.
hot though. She cute though. But yeah, anyway, continue. Go on.
Yeah, and then but like I think the one that impact the most on Elena herself was probably this one episode where I think this will be quite a major spoiler, because I think it actually changed her character later on. But I mean it certainly did for some versions of her, because there was this one episode where she actually encountered parallel her from like different worlds, and there was this one version of Elena who was very depressed because she encountered the same event. But basically what happened, like she got asked to join another witch to go back to the past. Yes, there's time traveling in this anime with simply magical powers from witches. Wow. But yeah, to go back to the past 10 years ago to save one of like her companion's friends, because because that friend experienced like family abuse, domestic abuse, and then she killed her uncle, and then later on she realized she enjoyed murdering, so she became a serial killer, and then the friend had to execute herself. As in, like, friend A has to execute friend B herself, friend B being the serial killer. And then and then so like Elena follow friend A to the past to try to correct everything. And then but then like they realized that oh my god, actually I skip a few parts, but basically what happened was that what they thought was the cause of friend B being a serial killer was not the cause at all. Friend B all the time along has been has been murdering people as a hobby, basically. And then friend A literally had to kill friend B again on the spot. And then Elena was also so shocked that like after they returned to the present, she just ran off and just like cried by herself, which was like basically, at least in the anime, the second time you see her crying. And so like it was a very shocking scene in some ways. And it's like but like, you know, after you hear that, you know, it's like it's a very common trope. Like you go back to the past to correct something, you realize something was not the right way, and then you fuck it up. Yeah, it's like it's a very common trope, but like it's still like the way they presented it was very impactful, and I really like that. I don't really know how to describe, and probably describing it will talk like another podcast episode, so I won't bother doing that. And then the other anime I watched was actually a very classic one called Gegege no Kitaro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is about yokai, basically Japanese ghosts and folk tales. And then there was this one episode about Kitaro investigating why people were dying in the village. And then it turns out there was like a cat yokai
Mm-mm.
going around being adopted by villagers.
Mm-mm.
But like the cat yokai itself didn't realize it was absorbing life energy by being with the humans. Yeah, but like all it wanted was being loved by the humans.
Mm-mm.
But like at the end, it was forced to stay away from the village,
Mm-mm.
exactly because it likes the villagers,
Mm-mm.
like something like that. Like and it's like, and then it's like,
It's
no,
a meow
poor
meow.
cat. Yeah, it's like poor cat. And like you know how last night I told you, oh my god, I cried to a children's series. Like that was the episode.
Oh.
I was like, oh no, poor cat, why?
There's no shame, man. It's a cat being sad. You shouldn't be ashamed of crying to that.
But yeah, but like I don't know, watching these stories
Hmm?
also make me, I don't know, it kind of inspired me to try to write in the same way as well.
Mm-mm.
Like oh my god, it all goes back to a loop because like originally I always say ever since when I wanted to be a novelist, I was like, I want to write a really long story.
Mm-mm.
And then like like kind of like the teachers and friends recommended me, it's like, no, try shorter ones first.
Mm-mm.
Like even like when you're in university, I mean, partly because we got limited word count,
Mm-mm.
but I suppose also because it's easier to start. Like they also recommend us to write short stories first.
Mm-mm.
It's like, but I really want to write long ones, and then I try like twice, 3 times,
Mm-mm.
never work. I dropped them halfway,
Yep.
and then now I realize, what if I make a compensation?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna
Compromise, yeah.
Yeah, a compromise. Yeah. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna so like overall,
Mm-mm.
it's gonna be a long series,
Mm-mm.
and like each chapter would like at least vaguely linking each other,
Mm-mm.
but then each chapter would also mostly be episodic.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I can do that. So like that's what I'm trying right now. But like after 2 days, I only type like half a page of work.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because like there was so much else that I need to do.
Oh. And you know what you need to watch next?
Where?
Since you have been bringing up like the episodic anime and yokai, there's this anime called
Oh,
Digimon Ghost Game.
say again.
Digimon Ghost Game.
Oh well, fuck that shit.
Nah, I mean like, at first I was also like kind of averse to it because like, in my mind, Digimon has always been like a more kind of like more of a violence show, and then like this is a show where they mostly finish everything by talking. Cause like what the premise is basically when the Digimon comes into our world, and then the world in the setting is basically much more. It has been way more. It is way more digital. So there's AR and everything. Basically AR has taken over, and then like there's holograms and stuff. And so basically when the Digimons come to our world, they have, since they are digital, they have access to the internet, and then basically these Digimons, as they were like thrown into an environment that is unfamiliar to them, they are exposed to like informations of folktales and yokai and such, and they kind of confuses these legends with with their own identity, and then they basically from there they do the quote unquote bad things. So what the heroes do is basically they set out, and then like some of these Digimons, they are not malicious at all. They are just confused. Some of them are just downright malicious. That's where the murder happens. But yeah, if the Digimon themselves are not malicious, then basically they just and knock some sense to them, and then they basically just, okay, so here is what you are trying to believe. This is all just a fairy tale. You are yourself, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that And I think that is the more I see it, it kind of grew on me because like I think that is something that we need for the future, because I think like up until our generation, we are pretty much still in the mindset that to some extent you still need violence to kind of you still need some degree of violence to kind of like push your ideas. But like I think we always wanted to move into a world where in the end violence will not be needed. So I think that's something that we need to fix starting from the kid show. Definitely. But I will still want to see more violence because I grew up with Tom and Jerry, and all that I know is like friendship is built on violence.
I mean, you're not wrong. I still say fuck you to my bestie every day. It's like he's gonna be hey bitch, like he's gonna be like, hey bitch, what are you doing? Are you free right now? It's like, no, fuck you, I'm doing stuff. Like, what do you want, shithead? It's like, what? I just want to chat you, shit. I mean, we literally don't actually hate each other, but like he just likes calling other people with swear words.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time the N word as well, despite just being an Asian. But don't worry, he's not actually racist. He just like using that word for whatever reason, and he knows it's a bad thing. So he only does it to like close friends and not to everyone, obviously. But like it's just. And I kind of got influenced by him, not with the N word, but just like in with swear word and everything. It's like, hey shithead, hey bitch, like fuck you, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, bitch, fuck off.
It's kind of funny you say that because like my hometown, like one of the thing that kind of like the stereotype about my area is basically that everybody just talks in swear words. So basically, if you wanted to learn Indonesian, that is like one of the best cities because to learn from, because like we just talk with swear words every 2 sentences. So like the one of the biggest joke that they try that was circulating is basically the greetings in my region in around Surabaya, specifically. If I translate it loosely to English, fuck you, why are you still alive? Fuck you, bro, why are you still alive? Yeah. So that is the level, and then that is why like after like 4 years, 7 years living in Jakarta, I go back to my hometown, go to the car shop. Why God, there's so much swearing.
I also. Sorry, go ahead.
And then I mean like we have the N word in the US, right? We have the C word in Indonesia because like at some point the racism was of course brought to the Chinese Indonesians, right? So the original translation, original translation for the word Chinese, which is China, it at some point it was a word that was like brought the connotation that these guys are the one that we need to destroy, basically.
We actually still use that word in Chinese community as well to refer specifically mainlanders as usual.
Of course. But anyway,
I think I actually I don't know if it's common in Mandarin, as in like I mean obviously not in mainland, but I mean like in Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, etc. But I know it's it used to be a very used word in Hong Kong, because like the first time I heard this word was on a satirical music video. Like they basically they basically parodied Gangnam Style and then called it disgusting China style.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very popular video back then. And oh my god, I should look it up and send it to you later. I think it's still very funny. It's still very much a word going around in Cantonese at least. But actually, I don't know. I don't know if like the generations after me actually know about that word.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I might even be the last generation to actually know about that word because like we don't actually use that word now.
Yeah,
Especially when we got a lot more colorful terms for mainlanders.
exactly. Yeah, nah.
Like, including grasshopper
Mm-mm.
because grasshoppers they like they're what's the word? They're like harmful insects in terms of
Uh-uh.
crops
Oh,
because they
past
eat
it.
the
Mm-mm.
crops.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
past.
pest. There we go. That's the word. I can't remember for whatever reason. Yeah, because like grasshoppers are pests.
Mm-mm.
So like that's what people call mainlanders grasshoppers. Or pinkies, as in like the color pink, not like
Yeah.
the finger.
Mm-mm.
But like I don't know why they described them as pink in the first place. I can't remember
Mm-mm.
why. Um, Another one is 50 cents.
Mm-mm.
Again, I don't know why, but like somehow that's a term.
Mm-mm.
I think these three are the main ones that we're using right now.
Mm-mm.
Grasshoppers, pinkies, and 50 cents.
My God.
Oh wait, one more.
Mm-mm.
Glass hut.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? But yeah. So like I can pull up four terms that we're
Mm-mm.
using right now. So
My
like
God.
that like it's like so naturally like China being like probably a term made by our parents' generation.
Mm-mm.
So like kind of got brushed off because like
Mm-mm.
it's not their generation now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think same because like it's also back then I think it's more into like because of there's this riot in May 98. So there was this is the kind of like the time period where this kind of words becomes really hateful. And then
Mm.
eventually like we changed presidents several times after that. And then at one point like one of the president kind of like okay, let's live what the previous leaders have done. Now, if you are a Chinese, you are free. You are free to culturally express yourself as a Chinese. So and then like I think like even then like the government kind of like encourage the other translation for China, which is Tiongkok, which I think it's kind of more stems in from like one of the local dialects rather than Mandarin.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-mm. And then I think like the Chinese people themselves are then referred as Tionghoa rather than yeah China than China. So yeah, then I think then I guess like even not even my generation. So like I think up until my generation, it's still kind of seen as a kind of like a harmful word. So like again, so then if you are close with someone, you can kind of like use it playfully. But like otherwise, it's kind of like you when people say that openly, then you can kind of see that they are being yeah they have malicious intents basically. But like even with my friends that are like younger than me, like 5 years younger than me, like even though we are pretty much the same generation, but like to them, it is not that big of a word, and then it's starting to crop up again because like of course you started to have edgy teenagers that doesn't go through edgy teenagers that doesn't go through this dark times in our history, and then they started to call other people like names and everything. So yeah, it is going. It is probably starting to go on a full circle now. So it's starting from okay. So now it is just a word like why do we need to let this hurt us, and then okay so people are starting to get okay why can I call my Chinese friends Chinese and then like okay now suddenly people are okay so if they wanted to blame someone here is the low hanging fruit. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-mm.
Fair enough. What else
Yeah.
can I say?
Exactly. I wonder how yeah that is why like Singapore is always some like Singapore and other melting pot countries it's always sometimes if you see it from outside I mean like if you see it from inside then it's there are probably some tensions happening here and there but like if you see it from outside it's like huh these people like openly have they have like four different races, and then they just live with each other harmoniously. And then you have Indonesia, which has a fuck ton different races, and then how we live harmoniously. We know who we hate. we know who we hate. We know who we like, and then okay, so we just mutually know that, and then in the end, it's just I am better off living with the enemy that I know rather than with the enemy that is pretending that they are my friend.
No, I mean, no, that's fair. That is very fair. Like, I still stand by the statement that like honesty is the best policy. But I mean, it's like partly my personality, but like I've literally been too honest for too many times. Like I'm still I'm still struggling to work on it. Like not really struggling, but like it's something that like I actively had to remind myself that like I cannot say this. It's like
Yeah.
but like back then I was like so honest that like for example when a classmate, like I literally call him a classmate because I still don't think he's a friend to this day. But like there was one time like when a classmate just like I think it was like more like jokingly, but also because like he didn't, or maybe also because like he did see me that way. I was like just saying like, "Hey, are we friends?" And I just said no.
No.
And like, cause like he was like one of the most annoying shits in high school. Like I just hated him so much. But at the very least, I didn't tell him in the face that I hated him. But like he was like, "Hey, are we friends?" I was like, "No."
No. No.
And then they just like scattered off. And then oh my god, okay, in university, I don't think I've said this before actually. But so like we were in a voice chat, and then one of the girls like later on, like she confirmed with me she did have a crush on me. But I can't remember what we were talking about to lead to the point where she said, "So do you care about me?" Mind you, that was like 2 months after we started talking to each other, and we haven't even seen each other's faces yet. We only knew each other on the anime society Discord, but like we haven't actually met face to face yet. So like I mean like you guys can judge on this, but like but like I can't remember why, but like she randomly just asked, "So do you care about me?" I said no. And then like the other girl who will later on be my ex, and then the other girl just like gasp, and then like 10 seconds later, like the rejected one just like left the voice chat, and then like my ex to be, it just sounds so funny to say ex to be, my ex to be like just asked me, "Don't you think that was too harsh?" And it's like maybe, and I was like, but like I mean I don't know what to say because like. It's not something you should be asking someone you only talked to for 2 months. And like you haven't even seen each other yet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even to you, Theo, like we talked to each other for 3 years, but like, still, I wouldn't just like randomly ask you, "Do you care about me?"
Well, I think that's a little bit heavy in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I still don't think I've done anything wrong, but maybe I could have worded it better. But like
Probably.
that was the degree of honesty I could be, or like maybe the better word is straightforwardness.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's better.
my friend would literally tell me, "Hey, can you tutor my brother because I know you can tell people off better than I do."
But yeah, I guess that is also like one of the lessons in life, right? That you learn that okay, honesty is important, but you need to honest in your actions, not really with your words.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's for sure. But like, oh yeah, that for sure. Yeah, like at the end, I suppose words you kind of have to use them as
Mm-mm.
a way to begin a relationship.
Mm-mm.
But because like even if you want to be honest with actions, if you didn't have a chance to be with someone, then you can't even be honest with them.
Yeah. No.
And
I mean,
like,
like actions include your words, but it's still like you have to.
okay,
You have to
yeah.
be an honest person, but like it doesn't mean that okay, whatever I have in my mind, I will just say it out loud. Like you learn to kind of like choose which you are saying, which you are expressing in words, which you are expressing with your actions, kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Mm-mm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean like with I mean like
It's
it's all coming back to job hunting, isn't it? Like you kind of have to lie, but you are then not honest with your words, but you are honest with your actions because like okay, so some of these words I exaggerated it, but this is kind of like I wanted to get your attention, and then this is what I can actually do. So you exaggerate your words, but you don't put things that are not true, basically, in your promotion.
fair enough. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that is why we are the best Battle Spirit Saga podcast in the internet. Yeah.
We've never been talking about cards for God's sake.
Yes. we talk about cards for like 2 minutes and then and then now it's a self-help podcast. Yeah, no shit at other creators though. I think like if you wanted to get like the strategy content, uh, we have plenty of other colleagues, our competitors that is focusing on that. This is the niche that we stumble upon. Different experience.
I mean, we definitely put ourselves in a very weird position because
Mm-mm.
like we're supposed to top our cards,
Mm-mm.
so like it's already barely how to say it, like
Mm-mm.
it's already a lot of effort to even try to get TCG players to listen because like we mainly talk about Battlespace Saga as well,
Mm-mm.
well Battlespace in general,
Mm-mm.
not even just any card games.
Yeah.
Even though I'm willing to talk about that, it's Theo you who's like not playing too much.
Yes.
But but then like somehow we stray into like just like all kinds of different stuff.
Mm-mm.
And then so like kind of our target audience, well, I still more our target audience just naturally shifted to
Mm-mm.
um TCG players who's also willing to listen to random shit.
Yes. Because yeah, again, this is a TCG lifestyle podcast. So this is like how is it is less about like what is TCG and how it is played, but like how is life in the eyes of people who have their life transformed. They especially being broke because of playing these card games.
I guess we can advertise it that way. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, we should do that. We should just cut this part and use it as our podcast trailer. Finally, we have a podcast trailer.
Yeah. I think you should definitely do that. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was it? Yeah, in terms of card games, I started Grand Archive.
Yay.
And got fucking destroyed by your deck.
Yay. Oh my god.
What is her name again? I can't remember her name. It's so hard to remember.
Yeah, I mean like saying Arisana.
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 There you go. Yeah. So like for those who don't know how Grand Archive work, well, if you play Hearthstone before, then it's an easy comparison. But if not, if you're an uncultured swine, then I have nothing to say. But but basically the game works is that you have a character that kind of represents yourself,
Mm-mm.
and then you play other cards. Well, you have a health yourself, and your opponent also has a health.
Mm-mm.
and then like you put their health down to 0 by playing other cards.
Yes.
Like that's the basic gist. And because Theo picked the character Arsana, which is like a stall deck, which also heals a lot. And then just like instead of attacking with so-called minions, they deal direct damage with magic instead. And by direct damage, I mean like the maximum health you can get is 30, but generally each character has maximum 25 health. Arizona can deal 6 damage with 1 magic, and that magic card also accumulates. So like, basically it adds 2 more damage, or was it 4 more? I can't remember. It adds 2 more damage for each of the same copy that has been used. It's like
oh, so it's 4 plus 2.
It's 4 plus 2. Okay, yeah.
4 plus 2
So base damage 4, and then get plus 2 for each of the same copy that's been used in the game.
Yes.
It was like fucking insane, and they can use it for free as well. It's like yeah, and then like my deck, which is Diana, it's like a mid-range deck. So like, which is like, so it's very hard to deal with Arisana, which is like a control stall deck. I only managed to win because they may be breaking, because like it's like there aren't a lot they can do really. Most of the time they just stall really, so like you just gotta find some ways to deal more damage than them healing, which is like more often than not that's the case. And mind you, I'm also using a starter deck. But they have their own upgrades. Like my opponents had their own upgrades, and I'm using a literal starter deck with only 1 card change.
Hey.
So I had my first tournament like 2 days ago. 3 rounds, so I got 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss.
Ooh.
And all 3 rounds, I was facing 2 Arizona and one Merlin, which was also a stall deck.
Oh.
So, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. You just cannot win. My goodness. Yes, I really like the art for the Merlin's level 3 though. That's why I joined like the tutorial in convention and received the 1 fractured crown booster pack that I think I've kind of rave about like months ago, because like I think this is kind of like a good idea to kind of like introduce the players to kind of like, okay, so you cut your half deck and then now you can kind of like get your first taste of possibly changing cards in that half deck with something that you get from your booster pack. But yeah, anyway, the booster pack itself is really pretty, so I'm still keeping it still until now. Probably I shouldn't, but yeah. It's way too pretty. That's also why I was really unsure when I tried to unpack my half deck, because like everything that they made, the packaging of everything that they made so far was like really pretty. The starter deck not giving you a guaranteed foil, it's a little bit of a letdown, but yeah, still.
Oh my god, I watched someone literally got the level 3 Arizona secret, which is worth for like $1,000.
I should have taken off my headphone just now. Could have just listened that to the recording, not twice. Yeah, I think it's crazy, because like I think it's not guaranteed in a box, and then like even if it's guaranteed in a box, like I think the distribution for Grand Archive is not like one distribution box having all the same starter deck. It's like every distribution box has like 3 of each, if I'm not wrong. So it's like, so even if it's guaranteed 1 box, there's no guarantee that it's going to go to your characters. And even less that, because I bought like the last Arizona starter deck that is available in the store. So yeah, I guess close to 0 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of need. I mean, like I've been talking with like the guy who played like Grand Archive near me, so it's like she'll probably start going to like the Grand Archive tournaments as well. Now that the only thing that I have in abundance is time.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it more to see how the tournaments work. Cause like if it's like decent enough, I might actually get into it as well. But I don't know. Like right now, I'm fine with just Diana and then somehow got another lie deck as well.
Yeah.
Because for those who didn't see my tweets, which probably most of you didn't,
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe
I,
they
I
did.
I was randomly given 2 extra starter decks by a random person. I mean, I call him random just because like we don't usually talk to each other, but like we had chit chats from time to time because it's the same local. But like I was randomly given by him 2 more starter decks because he bought them, he tried them, and he didn't like them.
Ooh.
So I got Lai and Lorraine, but I gave the Lorraine deck to the shopkeeper because he needed some extra cost from it. Yeah. So I got Diana Lai right now, which is actually fine because Lai was in terms of the gimmick. I mean, even though I'm bisexual, I don't really like Lai as a character design, but meh. But like the game mechanic it's pretty fun, I think, because like it's the kind that like just spam magic. Apparently, I faced it like twice, but like I don't actually know how it plays out. But yeah.
True. I think like I chose Arizona mostly. It's a dick pic.
It's a
mean, like,
what?
it's a dick pic. I mean, like I just I
Bruh.
I bought it
Bruh.
because I really like her design. Because like how
Neuron
how much I
activation.
deadly love at the Atelier series, and then when I learned that she's an alchemist, it's like, oh, I need to get her. Yeah, I just like her design in general. So it's like, when I see that as she levels up, she just wears less and less clothing. Is like just really like just really like her level 1 design. So hopefully one day, if I am crazy enough, I'll probably when I have enough money, I'll probably try to get the secret version for her level 1 card. Not now, but eventually. And then yeah, I think like they also wanted to make something kind of like a mega deck coming this year, which will come with like a storage box that is like a proper storage box. I think it's I don't know, like the appearance looks like leather, but it's probably just a really nice paper, isn't it? I mean, like compared to the usual cardboard.
The booster box.
No, it's not booster box. It's a mega deck.
Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, I think have I shown you? But it's like there are two. So one of them is featuring Sylvie. The other one is a champion that is like included in the booster box. So I don't remember her name, but can
No,
we
I
find it now?
don't think I've seen them. I know the booster boxes of Grand Archive is very well structured. Like it's like so like normally with booster boxes, like it's made as like a single layer of like some thick cardboard paper.
Yep.
But like Grand Archive is actually 2 layers, and then it's also smooth on the surface. I think the word is matte. So like MATTE. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yep.
So like you can actually keep the box as a storage box. Like so, it's very clever of them to do that. Yeah. So like I don't know. While the game is still relatively cheap, maybe you can buy a booster box just as like a storage. I'm just buying a storage box with extra cards.
True. once I
Ooh,
get
what is this?
yeah, so basically that is the product sheet. So basically they just share this kind of promotional material as a PDF, and then for the next set, which is Mercurial Heart, they are going to release two kind of mega deck, which they call the recollection deck, I think. So
Okay.
featuring Sylvie and Tristan. And then each deck will come with a pre-constructed 60 card deck, 12 card material deck, which is has your heroes and their equipments, and then a set of 100 Dragon Shield sleeves based on the characters of the starter deck. And then there are so basically this is also the nice thing. So usually with the pre-constructed deck, usually you have you don't have up to the complete playset, so you kind of have to buy multiple copies of the deck, right? So they just give you the remainder of the cards that you needed to make the playset. So like if they
Wow. Oh yeah, I just read the points now. Wow.
yeah.
Oh my
And
god, that's actually what's the word? Uh it's at a very reasonable price. Too reasonable, in fact.
yeah, you get, and then you get 3 booster yeah, so yeah, basically you get 1 starter deck.
Yeah, because that's normally the price for you to buy like a complete deck anyway.
Yeah.
But now they also give you a box. They give you 100 sleeves, and then they also have arts dividers and then 3 more booster packs.
Exactly.
That is some value right there.
Exactly. And then chance of a secret as usual. So yeah.
Oh god, of course that's always a secret. But I don't know. I'm actually more interested in the new booster set because looking at the cover, I guess Diana is getting support.
Yeah. I think because
Oh
also
my god, like this Diana looks so cool. What the hell?
No, right.
I love myself some gun girls.
Yeah, she looks so badass. I think how they work is basically they have like a main set, which is like Dawn of Ashes and Alchemical Revolution so far. And then so basically Mercurial Heart is an expansion of Alchemical Revolution. So I think the champions that come from Alchemical Revolution, like Diana, the one guy who I don't bother to remember the name of, and Arisana will get more cards supposedly in this set. But then I think they mentioned in the presentation itself, because I happened to be awake when they did the presentation. So they have more variety when compared to like the previous expansion set, which is Fractured Crown. So I think they should be somewhat similar in size to a normal set. So let's see how many cards do we have in Alchemical Revolution. So Alchemical Revolution, where is it? Where is your information? So Alchemical Revolution has 81 commons, 54 uncommon, 42 rares, 29 super rares, 8 ultra rares, and 16 character secret rares. Compared to that, Mercurial Heart, which is the expansion for that set, has 62 commons, 45 uncommon, 42 rares, 32 super rares, 10 ultra rares, 14 character secret rares, and I think it's a character ultimate rare. So basically it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much on the same size with the normal set, which is pretty nice. Because you basically get this still, although it's an expansion of the main set, it's still released basically on a cycle that when you compare it to other games, basically the cycle where a new main set should have come out. So yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I might see if I can share with someone in my locals. Because I think I really want the Diana stuff. Yeah. But I literally don't need any of the other stuff. So
good. Maybe I can take your Arisana stuff, but we will see. First
Oh yeah, no, Arizona is like the same wave, isn't it? Yeah, they might
Yeah.
have something for Arizona as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now that you
And
mention.
actually, that might be easier to negotiate then.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
tell the others, I'll take Arizona and Diana. You guys take
Mm-mm.
the rest.
Yeah.
And like, I'm taking a little bit more cards, so it should be
Mm-mm.
easy to share.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that is the
Oh
first
no,
step.
wait, but they're playing Arizona as well. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I'll have to find a share here and keep the German community alive. I think that is more healthy. But yeah, now that you
Yeah.
mentioned about the boxes being real tech, because like Alchemical Revolution, the cover for the booster box is Arizona, so now I kind of wanted it. Damn it! Why do you have to let me know, Ayumu? Now this is on the top of my pile list.
Go find a job.
Yay!
Oh my god. And I'm thinking about one the Ray Over box as well.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, yeah. I think. Oh yeah. Also the other one thing that I love from Grand Archive as a YouTuber is they give you this media kits. So basically, yeah, media kits. So basically, if you wanted to make a content out of the set, they basically give you lots of stuff, even like the high quality posters. And then if you wanted to include like the characters in your video, they already give you the PNG that has the character cut out already.
Oh damn.
Yeah. And then even I think they provided some movie files as well of the trailer. So basically the trailers are also included inside the media kit.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is like, wow. Going from Bandai, I'm always begging for give me a media kit, and then like they never did, of course. The media kit would have been really useful in our effort to make Pearl Spirits contents. I mean, like, imagine if you can just make a puppet show out of Sigworm and then you make like a fanfic of Sigworm and Meduke. That's probably why they didn't give us any media kit.
I
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
yeah.
oh my god, don't even talk about that. Like you don't want me to go into rants of how bad the marketing is.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about that again.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck it.
We have
But
talked
like,
way too much about it.
but do you know
Mm-mm.
that apparently they don't even sell Saga in the
Mm-mm.
Bandai store?
Wow.
It's so fucking dumb. Like, oh my god. But like, that's the extent I'm gonna talk about. Don't even want to care.
Yeah, let's stop there before we get even angrier, because that's what we do here. We get angry at Bandai. But yeah, I guess that is it. You guys wanted us to specifically make an episode where we are just angry at Bandai for like 1 hour. You can always let us know
Please don't.
at our email at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. Or yeah, we can go back to talking about food. Yeah, surprisingly we don't talk about food this time. Although I made a pretty bomb vegan ramen just now.
I
It,
mean,
it still is
you
not
don't want to
vegan.
hear me talk about. You don't want to hear me talk about food this week. Like after
Mm-mm.
we finish this podcast, I'm literally my dinner just gonna be half a pack of bean sprouts.
Yay! No, I think my mine is not even vegan. I am sorry about that. It has egg and then the broth. I think it has been tainted with animal broth, but yeah, still. Yeah. But anyway, I am sorry for claiming that it is vegan. It was not vegan. I am, and I need to correct myself for that. But yeah, anyway, as usual, if you have questions or suggestions, you can always send them to our email at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you can also comment below and we will read your questions. If it's big enough, we might talk about it in the podcast as well. So yeah, I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week. We hope that you guys have a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next turn. Bye bye.
Bye bye.